Hi, welcome to our company. In this interview, I have the question problem that you have to solve as a programmer. I want to you be able to explain and write a code. So, are you ready for this interview? Yes, sir, I'm ready. But before we start this interview, I have some questions. Do you have any programming language requirement for the code? Because you say I need to write some code, right? So do you have some requirement? Sure, for this interview, I hope you can solve the problem and write the code with C or C++. Okay, now I will start to explain the question problem. I will explain the question problem, start from the question problem number 1. By the case, first question is about the happy number, where the input is the 19 and the output will be true. The mean of the question is starting with any positive integer, replace the number by the sum of the square at stake. Repeat the process until the number equals 1, where it will stay or it loops endlessly in a cycle which does not include 1. Those numbers for which this process ends in 1 are happy. Written true if n is a happy and false is not. So now I will give you time to explain and write some code. Okay, sir. I will answer your question problem number 1. I will start from the explanation of concept of happy number. After that, I will make a code for solution. Okay, as I know, a happy number is start with n and is defined by the following process. Starting with n, replace it with the sum of the square of each digit and repeat the process until n equals 1, or it loops endlessly in a cycle which does not include 1. Thus, number for which this process ends in 1 are happy number, while thus do not end in 1 are happy number. First few happy number are 1, 7, 10, 13, 19, 28, 31, 32, 44, 49, 68, 70, 79, 82, 86, 91, 94, 97, and last is 100. Okay, now I will explain each iteration with the happy number is 19 because you want the input number is 19. Okay, I will explain for the iteration. First iteration is 1 square 2 sum 9 square 2. The result is t2. The second iteration is n square 2 sum 2 square 2. The result is 68. Third is 6 square 2 sum h square 2. The result is 100. And the last is 1 square 2 plus 0 square 2 plus 0 square 2. The result is 1. So 19 is happy number. So the output is true. And for the idea, it's a simple idea. We repeat the sum of square of digit. While doing so, we keep track of visited number using a hash. If we reach 1, we return 2. Else, if we reach a visited number, we return false. And now let's go to the code. Let's try to write a code. Okay. Before we start the code, first we need to make a function. What the function? What this function for the sum digit square. So it's for the written sum of square of digit of a number n. For example, n equals 12. It returns 1 plus 4 equals 5. So we start integer sum digit square. Inside this function, it will be have integer n. Then integer square is 0. While n in this process is the integer of square is n percent 10, and in the process digit then the last n is n divide 10. Okay, and here is return to square. Oh, sorry, for here is not square because the square is have declared in here, so it's digit. Sorry. Okay. After that, we need to return true if n is happy number is written false. So we need to bold is happy and here it is b. And in this function, keep replacing n with sum of square of digit until we either reach 1 or we end up in a cycle. So while 1 inside here, number is happy if we reach 1, it will be happy number, so it will be true. So if n equals 1, it will be returned true. Then for the n, we also need to replace n with sum of square digit. So n equals sum digit square. It's from the upper function. So is n. Then after here, if is not happy number, if we reach 4, so it will be written false. So if n equals 4, It will be return false. Okay, sorry. Last is we need to return false. Okay. For the showing data, we need to call the function. So is integer and for the input is 19 because in the question you want to input is 19. So if is happy and the output is will be true. If not, the result is will be false. So this is a code of the solution, the happy number. Okay, the result is true. And as I mentioned before, the 19 is one of the happy number. So that's my explanation of concept happy number and a code of happy number. Nice. You can solve the question problem number 1. And you also can write a code of happy number. Then now we move to question problem number 1. I hope you can solve this question problem number 2 is same with the question number 1. Okay, I will explain the question problem number 2. Okay, in question problem number 2 is about the climbing star. For the input is 2 and the output is 2 also. In this problem, if you are climbing a star, it takes n step to reach the top. Each time you can either climb 1 or 2 steps. In how many distinct ways can you climb to the top? So let's explain to me and write a code also. Okay, for this problem, for the climbing style, we need to count y to reach to n stair. It means there are n stairs. A person standing at the bottom wants to reach the top. The person can climb either one stair at one stair or two stairs at a time. Count the number of ways the person can reach the top. Okay, I will explain the process of the climbing star. In this problem, the input data is 2. So there are 2 ways to climb the top. So first is step 1 plus step 1. And the second is step 2. That is process. So if the input is 2, so the process is will be 2 also. Then now let's go to the code. Okay, before we go to code, for the case of climb star, we have several methods, but maybe I will use one method. In this method is used a technique of recursion recursion to solve this problem. Approach. We can easily find the recursive method in the above problem. The person can read n star from either n minus 1 or from n minus 2 star. Hence, for its star n, we try to find out the number of y to reach n minus 1 star n minus 2 and add them to give the answer for n star. Therefore, the expression for such an approach comes out to be y n equals y n minus 1 plus y n minus 2. The above expression is actually the expression of for Fibonacci number, but there is one thing to notice. The value of yn is equal to Fibonacci n plus 1. So its mean is y plus is fit 2 is 1. Then y2 is fit 3 equals 2. So for this problem, we can use the function for Fibonacci number to find the value of y. Okay, that is the concept. So now we will start the code. First, we need to make a function of Fibonacci. So first, we need to make a Fibonacci function. Okay, so here is integer fib as Fibonacci. Integer n is n if n is 1. Return to n. Then return fib n minus 1 plus fib n minus 2 as I mentioned before. After the Fibonacci, we write a number of y's to reach the star. So integer con y's integer s. Okay, return fib s plus 1. Okay, and in the main function is class integer s. So based on the question problem, the input is 2. So after we make the process, we need to show the result. So CR number of y's is, we call the function s in 0. Now we can run the code and now the result. Okay, I will run this code program and The result is will be here. The result is 2 is the same as the output. Okay, that is my solution for number